Welcome to Fountain Spring in Plantation, Florida. I'm Alex Nottingham, a board member at Fountain Spring, and I have with me the president of Fountain Spring Master Board, Bruce Abrahams. And we want to welcome owners and prospective owners to our wonderful community. This is going to be a short talk. We have two sections. One is amenities, the fun stuff, and then the policy stuff that you need to know. We will also provide links to additional discussions going over other issues into more depth for homeowners and those interested in the community. Please welcome Bruce.
Well, it's great to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you. You put a lot of work to get this done and done right. Okay, so we're going to go right into this two-part discussion. This is a discussion. And just so listeners know, it's not exhaustive. There's other information that you'll be able to get to. You can always go deeper, but just a big picture, Bruce, and you've been in this community for quite some time. What are some of the amenities? What are, for those that are here or those who want to come to Fountain Spring, what makes it special? What do we have over here?
Well, first of all, we are a vibrant community. We're located southwest of the intersection of Nob Hill Road and Sunrise Boulevard. And we do have amenities. As homeowners associations, we are the master association, and we are in charge of like our clubhouse. We have a clubhouse that you could rent. We have events such as weekly Zumba and yoga classes. We have 3 pools at our clubhouse. We have a main pool, we have a kiddie pool, and then we have a hot tub jacuzzi pool. We also have
Nice.
a pavilion that you can reserve. So the amenities are one of just relaxation and joyfulness. And yeah, so we have a good community here.
It's really cool for me. You've been here longer. How long have you been in Fountain
We were
Spring
moved in
for this
here
recording?
19. We were the second owner, so we not
Oh,
original, but we
wow.
bought in 1992. So I think the
Okay.
community was built about 1989, 90, and we came in
Okay.
92. So for a
I
while.
actually there's two parts of the street, and there's a park. I think you mentioned, right, Deicke Park, that is in the middle of this section of where we're at, and which is wonderful. They have tennis courts, pickleball courts, things that you could do
By the
there.
way,
I would,
Alex, when we were
yeah,
searching for a place to live,
yeah,
Deicke Park, which is, you're correct, right on the edge of our
yeah,
community is Deicke Park,
uh huh,
was just new. The trees were like 4 feet, 3 feet tall, these little sprout of trees. And my wife and I are driving, looking for a place that we're going to move to. We decided to move here. One of the reasons wasn't just the amenities of the Fountain Spring community. It was because this Deicke Park was here within walking distance. And we thought,
it's
how
beautiful.
cool. And now, of course, the trees are huge, right? 30 years.
They're
And
enormous.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
And what's nice is you can walk around. It's a track. It's beautiful. And I rented first on the other side of the street, and then I bought a house kind of near you, I believe, and now I own. And yeah, beautiful community, different size homes. There's even town. There's even condo size. There's full size homes, patio homes, different options here. And what's really cool, it kind of is in a beautiful nestle where it's located. We're by Sawgrass. We're by 595. Where it's nice because you can go right to the hustle and bustle over at
right,
Sawgrass
right,
and the Panthers Arena and all that. You can head up 595, you go to Miami, you go to Fort Lauderdale,
right.
and but yet you're kind of hidden in a suburban area that's kind of there's not noise or anything. So it's a really well suited area, pretty special location. So that's a big picture of Fountain Spring and the community. So now let's go to the policy stuff. And this is what, for those that are interested in being here, those that are here at Fountain Spring as of homeowners, these are the things you need to know. We will do other discussions where we go into more detail for those that are interested in it. But Bruce, what does one need to know from a high level to operate well in our community?
Sure. From the most basic level, when you move in, you have to
Okay.
recognize that you are part of 2 homeowners associations. Not everybody has 2 homeowners associations. One is called a local association. That is the association when you move into a block, they're in charge of your neighborhood. They're in charge of regulating the rules and the policies of that small section of Fountain Spring. Now, that's different than the second homeowners association, which is us, which is Fountain Spring Master. We are in charge of the common areas. I just mentioned the clubhouse, the pools, the landscaping, the median strip of 106th Avenue, which is our main thoroughfare. That median with all those trees and landscapings on both sides of the roads, that's us. We have 7 lakes. That's the master. We have fountains. That's the master. So the master's in charge of a lot of things, and you pay dues to both. They're separate. You don't cut a check to one and say, oh, well, I'm paying for both. No, there's 2 HOAs with each having their own board, each having their own board, their own rules, regulations, and stuff that you need to be aware of. So that's a very important distinction to make, just right off the
Yeah.
top. 2 boards.
So some questions here, just to clarify. So master is in charge of the common, what we share areas, and overall design. We'll talk about that. Now, the village is so there are different sections. I know for ours, and I don't know about the others as well, but they're responsible for painting
Mhm.
the homes. They're responsible for the front of the
The
yard,
front of the
right?
yard's right.
And some other areas there, and so that money is going to something plus a management to be able to go. Are there any, I mean, just give me a few other items, especially for the village, because you're the village where you're a part of. Master, I get it's common area, big picture. What are some other areas that the village does?
So probably, and we'll probably have a whole nother video
We
on
can
this
go more
subject,
detail about that. Yeah.
but in a broad spectrum, the local village has a very big responsibility in the sense that
Okay.
there are homeowners. You buy a house, you're excited, or you've been living here and you want to do an improvement to your home or your front yard. Well, the rules and policies say you can't do just anything you want. One of the reasons why people move into homeowners associations is because they don't want to live next to a neighbor that has a car with no wheels on it, on bricks, or they don't want to live next to a purple house because they could paint it purple. So uniformity and consistency
Right.
increases property values. And so it is your local homeowners association that's the first line of defense. So when you want to get something done, you need their approval, but you also need the master approval. The master takes over after the Fountain Springs local village approves it. Then the master has to approve it. You have to get through both approvals
Got
to
it.
get some done. That's a
Got it.
significant responsibility, not to mention trimming the trees and landscaping. That's a big deal. That's a load off of when we moved here. The fact that I don't have to mow my lawn and do my plant
It's
beds,
fantastic.
that was fantastic because
Yeah.
I'm not a
And also
Oh, the
the
sprinklers, the
sprinklers up
irrigation, the whole
front.
thing. I am not a
That's
handy
great.
person, so for
It's
me,
nice.
moving into a let somebody else handle
It's
it,
very helpful.
that was yes.
Like I had a palm tree that was dying, they took it out.
Yes. Yeah, that's the local.
Okay, so we see, and this is very important, that everybody we're gonna encourage that's interested in the community and that just bought, watch this video or listen to us, and so they understand again, we have a village and a master, you're paying dues, there's a reason for it, most of the money is going to you to, we don't get paid on the board, we're
Oh,
just volunteering, and it goes to, we save money by buying in bulk, a lot of that. Like we have our own Sam's Club, and like you said, the goal is to make sure the community is nice and the values, I mean, they're doubling, they're doing very well because of all that. All right. So tell me about all right. So we talk about that. We have to be aware of dues. We got to be aware of the 2 associations. And
right.
if you are you're an owner, you're welcome to come to meetings. You're welcome to apply for the board if there's positions available. Tell me about the CAM. What is that? What's the relationship? What do I need to know?
So CAM, or Community Association Manager, that is probably the single most important person in the community because they represent the board. They're the day-to-day. They're the ones that are gonna handle your questions, your issues. We are the policy setters. The board is the policy setter, but the manager is the one that says, okay, what's wrong with your account? You said you paid, but we didn't get it. We have to follow up on your issues. You have a question. That is the person that you're going to email, or you're going to call and say, here's my question. So that is a critical piece of the puzzle. And before I forget, Alex, I want to encourage anyone who just moved here, or if you've moved here and you just haven't done it, please register www.fountainspring.net. That is our website. That is the way we are able to email you updates on what's going on in the community, whether the pool is closed and why. This is critically important. So I just wanted to thank you for letting me do that 15-second plug for the website.
Well, it's important, as you mentioned, that you can log in if you're a homeowner. You can put a ticket in, either you call or you can put in what you need. I put one in and they took care of it. There's a landscaping issue. It's very robust, our community of being able to interact. You can see your payments and so on. There's a lot of good stuff when you're able to register and log into that. That's very important. So the first person you're going to reach out to, either email, portal, call, is going to be your CAM.
Yes,
Now, you have a CAM for your village and you have a CAM
correct.
for the master. And we're not going to go to board members. That's the last resort because they're just volunteers. You go to the CAM, but you can always go to a board meeting to express. But day-to-day operation is not the board. It is going to be the CAM. We pay them to do that.
Yes,
Correct?
correct.
Okay. Now tell me, this is very important, and this is going to be on our list. I think our last major topic, and then we'll kind of, if I didn't miss anything, we can talk about it, but then we can sign off. But this is the ARC, because people, those that are here, I didn't know when I logged in or when I bought of any of this stuff. That's why we made this video. And knowing there's two boards, you're paying them. This is what they do. Got it. But part of it is ARC, and I'm going to ask you, what does that mean? What does it do? When is it implicated? Pay attention, everyone, because this is critical.
There'll
I've
be
done
a
a lot
test.
of
There'll be
things.
a test
There
at
will be
the
a
end.
test. That's right. I did a lot of things without knowing what ARC was, and I had a problem. So what is ARC, and what do we need to know?
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are rules and regulations regarding what you can or cannot do to your home. And you can't do anything without approval. So, at the very first level is understanding that when you move into a community with an HOA, you do not have carte blanche to do whatever you want to your outside of your home, whether it's light fixtures, change a roof, do something with your uh, plant. You want to plant this, or it doesn't matter. Everything dealing with your home that's outside of your four walls, not inside your house, but outside or on the structure, needs approval. So how do you know what you can or can't do? There is something that each association has, your local and your master, called an ARC manual. It's actually, you could shorten it to architectural manual. It's the manual that says you are allowed to do this, or this. You are not allowed to do that. Okay. So let's assume you read the manual and you say, okay, what I want to do is allowed. Okay, great. You still can't do it. What you then do, you have to fill out an ARC form. An ARC stands for Architectural Review Committee. This is a committee that is not the board member. There's a confusion that it's the same thing as a board. It's not. There are different signs posted, board meeting on Wednesday or an ARC meeting. It's different. ARC is a committee, normally about 3 people, who get your application. That's your paperwork that has what you want to do, proof that you own the house, some sketches or photographs of what you're doing. And they rule whether to approve or deny your application. Okay,
Right.
this is a public meeting. You're allowed to attend. You could speak on your behalf and say, well, hold on, I know this is going, but can I add my 2 cents? And yes, of course you can. And
Sure.
the ARC committee is charged with a tough job. They have to be objective. They take your application and they have to apply it against the manual, the ARC manual, and decide, is your application fit? Did you fill out the form right? Or all your paperwork there? Does it fit so that we can say yes? So that is a process, and you
Right.
are correct. The single easiest thing to have a violation is you doing something because your neighbor said, just go ahead and put gutters on the you want
Yeah.
gutters? What's the big deal? Put gutters on your house.
Right.
Well,
Right.
you
Right.
didn't get approval, and then you're in violation that you put gutters up without approval. Why
Right.
go through that when you could do it right?
And often it's because we don't know. That's why this is so important that
Exactly.
you understand that we have an arc. And again, it isn't there to punish people, it's to protect you. First of all, many of our laws are in supporting plantation. So we are looking at plantation law, and that is what it is. And they're not going to be as nice as we are as forgiving. So we try to protect you, although it's your responsibility to understand plantation. But we try to look at that. We have ARC that's carefully construed. We don't try to impose unnecessary burdens. Again, we want the places to look nice, the right color set within reason,
Right.
but we try to give you as much freedom as we can. But this is protecting us and you as a community for ARC. It's a process that we need to do. We have legal liabilities and insurance to be able to do that. If people are doing things that we don't know and it's not done right. So I wouldn't understand the purpose behind it. I had issue with ARC for a while until I understood, but a part of it is learning. So the idea is if you want to make any modification to the outside of your property, you even if it's approved, even if ARC rules say okay and Plantation says it's okay, you need to still submit the form. You can get that from your login. You can ask the CAM for it, and once you get it, you fill it out. You can get really good at it in time. Just breathe through it. You'll get through it, and they'll help you. And then once you submit it, and if it's all by the code, it will be approved. Or even sometimes it's approved, and there's a comment saying here you can do it, just make sure X, Y, and Z, and we have
Oh,
something in writing.
that's a very poignant point. So we do sometimes, because we want to work with you, sometimes we say, you know what? This could be denied, or we could make it conditionally approved on you doing ABC. Okay, we're being nice. And then what happens sometimes, the owner will go, it's been approved. I can do what I want. And they seem to forget the ABC part of the
The
condition,
disclaimer, yeah, yeah,
the saying, we're allowing you to do this if you do it this way. We're trying to work with you. And then later, now you're under a violation. And if you did it wrong and have to redo it, that's money out of your pocket. So
right,
please be aware. And that's why I want to emphasize the point you made. Please be aware that if you did get approved, and even if there's only one condition, follow the
follow it,
condition. Yeah.
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 So, Bruce, I want to thank you so much
Sure.
for so succinctly going through the big issue. We talked about how wonderful the community is, and I just want to acknowledge you. You do so much volunteer work for the community. We really appreciate you. And we have so many others that do that. And that's what makes this place great. It's the people, it's the buildings, the resources. Just to review, we talked about understanding you have a village, you have a master association. Yes, there's two payments, two different responsibilities. And then lastly, and so importantly, well, we don't mention the CAM, of course, but also ARC, knowing it exists, why it exists, and you just need to follow it. It makes our work less of an issue. We don't want to do fines and violations and process is more stressful for everybody.
Sure.
And we are here to serve you. This isn't that. So just make sure you understand that. If you have any questions, reach out to the CAM, reach out to a board member. They're happy to share and support you. And we look forward to doing some more resources and discussions to help support all of you. So again, thank you, Bruce. And to learn more,
Thank you, Alex, for hosting this with your
yes,
equipment, with your
got all the
professional,
equipment.
all your equipment. Thank you.
It will sound really, really well. That's just not really Bruce's voice. I had to program it. No, but again, thank you. And fountainspring.net, fountainspring.net. That's where you learn more about Fountain Spring. And if you're a homeowner, you can log in, you can, or just learning about the community, you can find out some more and we'll again have other resources there. So thank you. And we will see you next time.
Thank you.